Odiogo.com, the web read for you.
Third world immigration turns London into Middle East battleground. Mass third world immigration has turned London into a Middle East battleground, with an estimated 50,000 Muslims and a handful of extremist communists violently attacking police and looting shops yesterday. The violence broke out as the largely third world mob marched to the Israeli embassy, burned Israeli flags and hurled missiles including signs, crowd control barriers and fireworks at police officers. Chanting Allah Akbar and other Islamist slogans, the third world mob, all of whom had been welcomed into Britain by the immigration policies of both Tories and Labour, eventually surrounded the heavily outnumbered police on two sides. The windows of a Starbucks were smashed and 3 police officers were injured in the ensuing battle. Metropolitan Police Commander Bob Broadhurst said, "We are very disappointed by the irresponsible actions of those who have challenged police by ripping apart security barriers and throwing objects at them. Approximately 15 people have been arrested, 12 for violent disorder, 1 for aggravated trespass, and 2 for assaulting a police officer." The London Ambulance Service said it had helped one man with a head injury and others with minor bruises after sending a team of 25 to the scene. The march began in Hyde Park, where Speaker's Corner was turned into a sea of Palestinian flags and banners condemning Israel, before making its way to Kensington Gardens. There were scuffles outside the Israeli embassy as the march passed by the gates leading to its entrance. Missiles were thrown at police guarding the way and a number of loud bangs, believed to be firecrackers, were heard as riot police drew batons and attempted to push the crowd back from the gates. A number of younger masked demonstrators attempted to climb onto the gates, near Kensington High Street, and they hurled pieces of placards and other items at police lines. A Metropolitan Police spokesman said, "A group of protesters outside the Embassy of Israel started trying to push over the barriers placed there to protect the embassy." Protesters have also attempted to throw barriers and other missiles at police. The riot in London has once again underlined the inevitable consequences of mass third world immigration. These people have not become British but have instead brought their culture, way of life, belief systems and moral codes with them, and are simply colonizing Britain. The British National Party has consistently warned against this process, and has been the only party which has linked immigration, asylum and Islamist terrorism, arguing that the primary cause of terrorism in Britain today is allowing the Middle East conflict to be imported onto these shores. The fact that the Islamist mob is supported by a handful of extremist communist socialist worker cranks who, when they are not helping Islamists riot in London, are organizing anti-BNP demonstrations does not distract from the reality that the Labour and Tory parties are ultimately responsible for the violence because of their treasonous immigration policies. British voters stand before a historic choice. They can choose to endorse the Labour-Tory treason con trick, and accept that the scenes in London yesterday are to become the norm. Or they can vote BNP and ensure that this nation remains British. More dramatic pictures of the day's events can be found at the website of the Daily Mail here. Share.